Hello and welcome. You're watching the Dove Jewish News channel. My name is Michael Ilan and my guest today is lawyer Ilan Tzion, the initiator of the security barrier in Judea and Samaria. Ilan, great to have you.
Nice to meet you as well.
We see that not only Israel has problems with Muslims, but mostly we can say with a safe heart, all of the Western world has problems with Muslims. For example, we see in Sweden, for example, that 98% of hard violent crime is committed by migrants, and we can only guess by what migrants are these crimes committed by. So I want to ask you the following question. You talk about the importance of a Jewish majority in Israel, about the dangers of Muslim migration into Israel. What about Europe? What about the West? Do you see the same way?
I think it's doomed. The West is doomed. It's just a question of time. It's like someone who gets the final stages of cancer. I mean, all these cells, malignant cells, when running into his blood, getting into his bones. Well, he's still alive, but he's not really alive because he's doomed. The West is doomed. Okay, and it's only a question of time until all these malignant cells of Islam would attack the hostess nations. And some of them, what's interesting is that the change they'll have. Some of them, the change would, when Islam would overcome Christianity, it will be without violence. In other places, I think it would be with violence. Well, it's a question of how it exactly would happen, but absolutely, surely, Islam is overtaking all over the world. There are countries which start to understand it and try to prevent Muslims from entering it. But all the Muslims, you have to remember, are soldiers of Islam. Even the nice, there are, of course, might be very nice people. I'm not speaking personally. Muslims are very nice people, as persons. But as a whole, they have an objective, a very clear objective. And this is going to finish with Islam fighting all the world. Yeah, that's right.
Ilan, which countries in the West are in the worst situation in terms of Muslim immigration, in terms of Muslim domination in those countries?
I think I should look at the percentage, but I think the European Union is a grave mistake. The idea of the European Union made all these countries vulnerable to these attacks. Now, Eastern Europe is more wise. The Eastern countries, like Hungary, and speak Hungary and Russia and Ukraine and all these countries, I think they are wiser because they, I think, prevent much more. Even Japan, I think, is acting the same way. But the other countries, I mean, it's the full decadence. All the time we try to look why the Roman Empire fell, because of decadence. And everybody asks, what is decadence? Well, the decadence of the West is the progressive ideas that said that everybody can enter and didn't see the problem with the Islam. So because of this progressive ideas, they let all these Muslims, refugees coming in. Because of that, they are going to fall, and of course Christianity is going to fall in the end. Now we are just a side case, Israel. This is just a side case, yeah. What happens here?
You are a wise Jewish man, and I want to ask you the following question. If, for example, we would take the case of a country with a big Muslim problem, for example, France, for example, Germany, for example, the United Kingdom, and we would place Ilan Tzion as the Prime Minister / President, as the first person in power in that country, what steps would you take to fix the problem with Muslim immigration?
First of all, I think this task. I think is impossible. I think, but if to do anything, first of all, I would go out from the European Union. First of all, any country in Europe should go out immediately from the European Union, and close its borders, and then try to do everything in order to prevent any other Muslims coming in, and I think this will be the only aim to do that, to change its the basic democracy, and say and even define the country as the country of its people, original people. like making two separate levels. I mean, really, I'm not speaking. I'm speaking truly about that. And that's and saying and just
Two different
preparing.
statuses, you mean?
Yes, statuses of people. Yeah. I mean, the Dutch people, for example, Holland is the country of the Dutch. It's not the country of other people. Yeah. So you have to define it, yes, and then to say that every person which is not Dutch, well, is in a different status and it can be expelled, for example. And then starting about how you expel people outside. It might be you might need even conquer places in the world in order to expel the Muslims into those countries. Otherwise, it's not possible to let them, just multiply in your country. It's like, as I said, malignant cells. And this is going to end in killing you. Okay, very, very simple. So, in order but I don't think it's feasible. I don't think it would happen. I think the situation is so bad, and the people are so sucked in all these progressive values, which is. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think that we are going to see Muslim empires starting to take over. I think Iran is the great example. What happens now with Iran? Iran is going to be a superpower, okay, and nuclear superpower, because of all this misunderstanding of the Western world. I think that the United States is going to sink. It's losing its power already, and we are going to a new world. I think in the decades to come.
So, Ilan, my last question to you will be about European identity. In order to save itself, I think it's quite an easy conclusion to come to, that Europe needs to value its identity and come back to the essential values that form the countries of Europe. And what should be the identity of Europe? Should they come back also to Christianity? Because the progressive values that you're talking about that led to the disaster that Europe is living through right now came because of the lack of religion, in my understanding.
Well, that's a question. I don't know the answer for that. I think that everybody should return to the idea of defending their identity. It doesn't matter how you define your identity, but you should see that you define a real identity. The Dutch people, for example, are Dutch. I don't know. They have hundreds of years of history, yes, as Dutch. So they need to go to be Dutch. I'm not sure it's only a religion. It's more than like a nationality. But this country should be defined as the Dutch country. And when I'm coming as a foreigner, I'm just a tourist. I'm a tourist there. I'll be very happy that they have many Muslim tourists coming. Okay, it's not against people, but you cannot let these people be your citizen, because then they are going to. And specifically the Muslims, they are going to kill you. This is very, very simple. People don't want to see that, but this is what's going to happen. Very simple. The truth is simple. I'm just saying what's obvious.
Ilan, Tzion, thank you very much for your insight on the demographic problem in Europe and in Israel. Everything we just talked about. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you also to all our viewers that saw this amazing interview with Ilan. Please don't forget to subscribe to us on all our social media platforms. Thank you again and have a great day.